Zero choice mentality. I was talking to a friend about this over the last couple of days, and it's one that I always find a fascinating concept because a lot of people balk at it. And don't get me wrong, I fucking understand. Like I get that as the problem. You know, when when we're in the normal society, this concept of there is zero choice about it. There's no wiggle room. There's no freedom to do other things is a daunting one. We pride ourselves on this ability to have the choice to do whatever we want. The problem is when you open yourself up to the options and the choices to make that decision, you then rely on willpower. You rely on utilizing something that is per day, a finite source. We have a certain level of willpower. We have a certain amount of decisions we can make each day before we start to fatigue and we start making less than optimal choices. All right. It's why most of the time, if you're on a diet, for example, most people will find it hardest at night. It's because you spent all day using up that resource and you get to night and you're like, and it wanes. And now you're still making decisions. And if you left open the door for those kinds of decisions, you then still have to overcome that. You have to overcome those desires for simple foods, those desires for, things that you wouldn't want to do, the desire to not work out, like the desire for the simple path, the quick gratification, that, dopamine chasing. It leaves that open. Whereas if you have the zero choice mentality, it's already decided. It's just about when. And despite how that feels constricting, once you get your headspace around it and you get into the flow of it, it's not constricting. It's actually freeing. Discipline is freedom because it removes you from the choices. It removes you from having to make these decisions. You made that decision already. It's not that it's being forced upon you. You already decided, but you decided when you're in the right place. You decided when you were feeling good and confident. Therefore, that decision in the right moment then carries forward into the moments when you're struggling, into those moments when you're feeling weak and you don't know if you can continue to do this. That is the point of this. That is where the benefits come from, and Jocko Willink talks about this, and there are many people who talk about this. Discipline is freedom. Because it is. When you have unwavering discipline, it opens you up to freedom of all these other things. As I said, you don't have to decide. You don't have to work through the thought process. You just go, it has already been decided. Zero choice mentality. I am working out today. I'm going for a weighted walk. I am completing my nutrition 100%. I'm going to take a progress photo. I'm going to drink enough water. I'm going to do these things that impact and benefit my life. This is what it's about. And because you've already decided, you have freedom. You just need to decide when you're going to do it. And it also gives freedom and clarity in the moments, when the day doesn't go well and you're there left at night and you go, fuck, it's now, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night or whatever it might be. And I still have to go for that walk or I still have to do that workout or whatever it may be. You said it was getting done. Therefore, it's getting done. And that's the end of the story. And I don't know. It took a little minute for my friend to get her head around this. And when they did, it was a shift. It's a light bulb. It's that here we go. And it builds momentum as well. Because when day in, day out, it's already been decided for you. You just get it done. And then that builds on it. And momentum is truly one of those things that I think it's one of the most underappreciated forces in nature. That snowball effect. When you get cracking on things and you just keep pushing forward, week 1, week 2, it doesn't feel like much is happening. Week 3, week 4, a little bit of happening. And as it builds up speed and momentum, you're like, holy crap, from day to day, I am now changing. My whole world is changing. I am becoming a different man from day to day. And it's a massive part of it. It's why momentum is so important, but it's also why there is no days off, why there is a zero choice mentality, because that momentum stacks so much more consistently and higher when you do it every single day. If you do 5 days on and 2 days off, do Monday to Friday and then you binge on the weekend. Depending on how hard you hit it on the weekend, you could be going back to the start every week. Whereas if you get into this rhythm and you've had no days off and it's just consistency, oh, it builds. And as you get further and further into it, it's like magic what the body is capable to do, what your life is capable to do, who you are becoming, And it's also why part of this is daily accountability, taking photos, tracking that you're actually doing it. So you can track your wins, your progress. Even for myself, I had one just today where I was like, am I getting anywhere? And though I talk about this stuff and though this is what I teach, there are still days where I'm like, fuck me, is anything actually changing? Are we actually making progress on this? And I saw a photo where I was on day one and I was like, fuck. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we are. We are actually steamrolling. And that's where a lot of this came from. I was like, oh, that momentum is building. Day in, day out, I am really starting to progress into the man I want to be. And as I said on the other video, I've been cruising. It's time to elevate the game. It's time to, smash through this and see where the next level is, because, I have not been giving enough. I have not been pushing hard enough. And I'm going to. I am going to, push it forward. It's why self-evaluation is so important, that I want to release the monster. Because, these workouts and things that I've been doing, I know that there are a lot of people in my circle and people I know who couldn't handle what I've been doing. But it's not stretching me. It's not really pushing me. And if I actually sat in a room with someone else who had good discipline, I'd be blown out of the water. It's just because we as a society have reached this very sad and pathetic level of what we think is discipline, of what we think is pushing it, what we think is reaching new heights. We are a society of mediocrity. At best. At fucking best, we're a society of mediocrity. A lot of the society these days is below that. I don't even know what is below that. But our bar of what is acceptable is so low. Like, I look at the dad bod things, and I saw a fascinating one on this the other day. But, this concept of if you go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, you are winning at life. If you kind of not, you don't drink all the time, or you don't do drugs, or you do that kind of stuff, you moderate your food intake a little bit, you are killing it. No. That's not even the bare minimum. That's not even entering the game. Like, when did we reach this level where we sunk so low and that we let this, averageness and patheticness be like, yeah, good on you, way to go? No, you were called for more. You were meant to do more. You were meant to be more. You were meant to lead by example, to be a man, to be a shining beacon to your friends, your family, your children, to all those around you, to what is possible. You were. You feel it inside. You wouldn't be fucking watching this video if you didn't feel it in here, that you were meant for more. So stop comparing yourself to the people who are barely kicking the bucket, who are like, showed up, woo, fucking win. No, that's not even stepping on the field. You haven't even entered the game to participate yet. We need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We are meant to provide, to lead, to produce this life, to show what is possible. We were meant to chase greatness. You need a purpose, a challenge, and something to go to war with. You need something that is bigger than you, that is going to drive you to get your ass out of bed and to push you forward. You need something that is going to challenge you, that is going to push your levels, that is going to make you realize what is possible, that you can then conquer. It's not something that's going to be easy. It's going to take effort. It's going to take consistency. And it's going to take time. But you can fucking conquer it. And third, you need something to go to war with. You need to compete. You need to battle. You need to grind. You need to find that inner fire. When you conquer that thing, when you go head to head and you win in that skirmish, you need that within you. And it can be your workouts. It can be you in that moment. I know I've had a few of those, and running stairs and doing, kettlebell circuits. There's been that moment I'm like, rah, and you just feel it and you're like, and it just ignites something in you. It could be from competing against someone else in workouts, in life. It could be competing against someone in business. It could be imaginary. It could be, who you think you should be versus who you are. I got that. I went to war with that when I realized how low I'd set the fucking bar. I was like, how fucking dare you accept that level? How dare you accept that level that you thought that was an acceptable thing to do? So now I go to war with that notion that what I was doing was enough, because it is fucking not. And I compete against that man who thought he was pushing himself, because he was not. And I am better than them. And I go to war and I find that inside me, and we go. And now every time I hit the weights, every time I push the thing, if I am not reaching that limit where I'm questioning if I can keep going, and then I find another fucking gear, I go, did it even count? Was it worth it? Because you have to find that. You have to find that fire. And you can find it in different planes of existence. You can find it when you're doing your greatness list and you are pushing into something, a level of finance, of growth, of development, whatever it may be that you haven't realized. And you're like, yeah, another one. Let's go again. Let's do some more. Let's keep pushing forward. When you find those moments and you can just go, that is what it's about, and it sets your soul on fire. We as men are meant to go to war. We are meant to find that. We are meant to fight. We are meant to scrap. We are meant to do these things, to provide, to protect, to support and look after those, to lead. And you can't do that unless you've got that fire inside you, and unless you've lit that flame and you are just fucking going. And I seek that feeling. I seek that when I know that I have done the work, and I'm like, yeah. You get to the end of it and you lay, in the blood, the sweat, the tears of battle, metaphorically or otherwise, and you go, I went to war and I won and I was victorious. And look, there are going to be days when you are not, and it is going to kick the shit out of you. And, they're good days too, because you went at it, you pushed it and you tried it and you lost, and you get back up and you fucking go again. These are the moments that count. And you just do that day in, day out. It's not about looking towards the end. It's not looking at that finish line. It's about this day. This day. Did you go to war this day? Did you give it everything? Did you leave everything you had out on the field? Can you lay your head to rest tonight knowing that you gave it your all? Can you? Did you win the day? Did you do the things you said you would do? Not just tick the box, but showed up with the highest value, with the highest level of effort, and fucking went at it. I'm having this discussion about burnout the other day, and they were like, you're going to burn out. And I'm like, I'm fucking not. When I do it properly, when I go to war, it ignites in me. It makes me feel alive. I feel better and more invigorated and alive than I ever have when I just cruise through life. I swear burnout is from people who don't know how to fucking work. They don't know how to find that inner fire. It comes from this concept of people who are cruising through life and they're burning out because they're doing shit that doesn't mean anything. They're living below their potential and they're burning out because their body, their soul, their mind is screaming at them. What the fuck are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? You're burnt out because there is no soul on fire. There is no passion. There is no fury. There is no fortitude. There is no whatever it is, that Valhalla berserker coming out in you. There's none of that. You're burnt out because whatever you're working towards doesn't come from in here. It comes from in here, up here. It comes from external source, or this desire to achieve X, make a certain amount of money, or to achieve a certain social status, or whatever it may be. It comes from something that doesn't ignite your soul, and that's why it doesn't fucking work. It's why you burn out and you feel defeated. And That's where I'm at. That's where I've been. That's why I'm closing down the business that I spent, over a decade building, because I'm burnt out, because there's no love, there's no joy. And I should have realized it, because every step of the way was a fucking grind. Every step of the way was a grind. Every big push to the next level hurt and was hard, and I had to mentally overcome it. And look, I don't regret any of that. In fact, I'm grateful for all of it, because it made me this man. It taught me the discipline and the focus and the things I needed to be and do. It also allowed me the time to reach this point, because I was talking to a friend about this, and I was like, we had to go through everything that we went through to get to this point, to be authentically us, to stand in the light and be born again, to step into that darkness, to then, skyrocket from this. This is now easy for me. All of this stuff, I look forward to it. As I said, it ignites my soul on fire. If I tried to do this a decade ago, I don't think I would have been able to. I was not ready for it. Nor do I think I should have been taken seriously. I was 21 when I opened my gym. 20 fucking one. And I'm going to be out here, teaching you how to build a better life, to become the man you are. I didn't know who the fuck I was then. I didn't know the man I was going to be. I needed my children to become that man. My children changed me deeply as a man. I wasn't truly a man until I had my kids, and that level of responsibility and that knowing that I had to lead by example. That's what changed me. That's what changed me in here. That's between my kids and my wife. That is my driving fuel to be a man of example, to lead by example, to be an inspiration to them, to, they can look at it and they go, Dad is a man who keeps his word. My husband is a man who keeps his word. Those things matter. So I had to go through that. But multiple times I've been burnt out on that journey. And in that decade of running that business, I got burnt out and I crashed and burned. I built the business up and I burned it the fuck back down, because it destroyed me, because it wasn't from in here. It wasn't that burning desire. When I work on this, it's effortless. I just show up and I'm like, I fucking love this. I could do this all fucking day. I could talk about this. I could work on this. I could write programs. I could help push people. This ignites me. And I never had that before. I've never had it like this before, because I didn't authentically step into myself. But that's the power of when you sculpt out the man that you are meant to be. And this is just the beginning. Like, I'm, 54 days into this. I'm not even halfway. And this is where I'm at. It's just building. And this fire, this intensity, this excitement, this passion, this drive, this love for it builds every single day. Every day I carve out that little bit. I carve away things that I don't need. And I realize the things that aren't serving me. And I've spoken about this before. If it doesn't make you money, it doesn't bring you happiness, or it doesn't grow you, don't fucking do it. And that's where I'm at. These things I'm just discarding as I become a better man. And things that I didn't think I'd ever discard, and I'm now battling against them. Those last tethers to the man I used to be, holding strong, wanting to stay there, fighting for their lives. But that man needs to die, because this man that I show up as, that's a man who makes change. That's a man who changes lives. Even if it's just my own life and the life of my family and friends, that's the man I want to be. That's the man I want to show up as. Not this soft-spoken one who wears masks, who doesn't speak his mind, doesn't speak the things that he wants to say, who has to swallow his words down and just not comment on things because, heaven forbid, I might lose some, clients or money on that, because I wouldn't be able to be the man that I am. And those around me can see that I am, every single day that I step further into this, that it shows that mask is starting to slip, because this man cannot be shackled. He cannot be held back. This is the man I'm meant to be, and I do not take kindly to weakness, to these excuses, to this pathetic version that people want to put out. No, we are all in. We are zero choice mentality. And yes, it will be fucking hard. Yes, it will test you. That is the point. But you're willing to go through that. You're willing to discard the things of the past, because you know the man that you will be on the other side is a man of integrity, of passion, of fire, who will lead by example, who will draw others to him because of the man he is. That is the man that you have inside of you. If you're willing to step onto the path, to sculpt away the things that don't serve you, to leave behind the man you have been, to murder him, to kill him, to end him, so that you can be reborn like a phoenix out of the ashes as the man you know you should be. That's what this takes. And it's chasing greatness, and it's a never-ending thing. And that's daunting as well. Not only is this a long program to begin with, but this is a never-ending journey, because you will never truly reach your greatness. You will reach the first one, and then you'll reevaluate and we'll go again. But that's a life worth living. That is a fulfilled life spent chasing your greatness. So that's all I have for you today. I hope I inspired you, and I hope you are willing to go out there and chase your greatness and to see what is possible for you, because what you're settling for right now is not it. You are called to more. You know, the universe is knocking on your door. It's telling you that it's time. It's time for more. It's time to chase your greatness. It's time to be the man that you know that is inside you. Stop ignoring that call. Stop ignoring that message. Step into it. Start chasing it. Talk to you soon.